It brought an entirely new dynamic. And that's when it clicked for me on how different these cryptos could be and how transformational they could change things. What is up, everybody? My name is Adam and welcome back to Broke Man Finance. With all the cryptos out there, all the coins, all the tokens, and more popping up every single day, there are thousands. People often ask, how do I know which ones to invest in? How do I know which ones to pick and where to put my money into? And that is a great question. And some people just want to YOLO their money on some random weird coin, butt butter, 5,000, whatever the hell. There are thousands of these things. And sometimes, for those short-term gains, works out like a champ. However, for me personally, if I'm looking for something, I'm looking for something that I think is going to have long-term success. And it's not butt butter. In full disclosure, there's not really a butt butter 5,000. I just made that up. So please don't start typing in butt butter 5,000 because something might pop up that you don't want to see. I look for long-term projects that are trying to solve real-world problems that are different from most other cryptos. That's where I feel like a lot of value is, because remember, most believe that 90% of cryptos are going to eventually fail and that 10% will be left succeeding and likely making their investors a lot of money. So choose wisely. Well, I believe these two coins that we're talking about today has that 10% staying power because they are definitely different than everybody else and they are innovative as hell. Meet Siacoin and Filecoin. Now, a lot of people have a preference one over the other because this is not a new conversation. This is not a new debate. These two have been around for quite some time. And I'll give you my own opinion throughout the video, so make sure you stick around. In a nutshell, I'm going to explain who they are, the problem they're trying to solve, and why I believe they have so much value. I'm not going to get into the technical mumbo jumbo. I'm going to save that for another video. Certainly I can if somebody wants me to, but I'm going to save all the techie stuff for another time and just hit you with the highlights. And if that's something that you can appreciate because you ain't got time to figure out how that cell phone works, you just want to talk on that cell phone and get on the internet, I can dig it. And if you can appreciate that, then make sure you do me a favor and smash that like button and remember to subscribe. Both Sia and Filecoin are innovating blockchain technologies in a very unique way, and that is by decentralizing the data storage sector. Data is the most valuable asset on this planet. Literally. And the way we store this resource, this data, well, it's going to evolve. Data storage will become more of a problem as time goes on. We have to start looking past cloud storages as the only solution. For instance, many police departments around the United States and really around the world would love to have body cams, but they can't afford it. It's not that they can't afford the cameras, it's that they can't afford the video storage. What Sia and Filecoin are doing is often referred to as the Airbnb of hard drives. The statement that resonated with me was when the founder of Filecoin kind of explained it like this. It made the light bulb go off, and it made me think about it in a different way. He said that there's all these people out there with this empty data storage space that's just not getting used. Just like all these rooms in people's homes that were just sitting there empty and useless until Airbnb came along and gave them a purpose. They completely changed the game in terms of rentals and vacations. It brought an entirely new dynamic. And that's when it clicked for me on how different these cryptos could be and how transformational they could change things. And I'm hoping that makes it a little bit easier to visualize. It certainly did for me. Check out this chart. You can see that we are integrating more and more data storage into our daily lives. And this trend is going to continue moving upward. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. This is the reason companies are begging for low-cost, high-security data storage such as Sia or Filecoin. On average, Sia's decentralized cloud storage costs 90% less than incumbent cloud storage providers. Storing 1 terabyte of files on Sia costs around $1 to $2 per month, compared to $23 with Amazon. Siacoin is the native token for Sia, and then Fil, F-I-L, or File, is the native coin for Filecoin. I've heard it pronounced both ways. Siacoin is sitting in the number 107 position in terms of market cap and at 18 cents per Sia. Now the supply is much higher than Filecoin with more than 49 billion Siacoins. Filecoin is sitting much higher overall at the number 29 position and is priced much higher than Sia at $59.94. However, their supply is much less than Sia with nearly 118 million in total supply. You're probably asking, but Adam, if they're so damn great, why aren't they much higher? And that is a completely valid question. They have been around for a while and have not done as much as others. Filecoin especially back in 2017, got a lot of attention because they had a very highly anticipated ICO, initial coin offering, and they raised over $200 million. But things have been moving kind of slow ever since. Some believe they've moved slower because of all the money that they did get back in 2017. That money caused them to relax. They lost that sense of urgency, that drive to really get something going, to make sure the ends were getting met, and it allowed them to relax a little bit. Now, I'm not saying that I agree with that point completely, but I do understand where that point comes from. Filecoin has an expensive mining system, and they are certainly more complicated than someone, let's say, who buys a Bobcat 300 to mine helium. The biggest hurdle, in my opinion, is that mainstream adoption. You're going against heavy hitters like Amazon, Dropbox, Google, etc. So that mainstream adoption is going to be tough. That's some pretty tough competition. Plus, they're just not the sexiest of cryptos that garner a lot of attention and get a lot of excitement. This isn't Shiba. This isn't Doge. This isn't Bitcoin, Ethereum. This isn't SafeMoon. This isn't one of those cryptos that gets everybody pumped up and has just a huge following. They fly completely under the radar, and unless you think about that long-term potential, then you should be getting excited. However, Filecoin is still pushing forward, and they've been having hackathons and improving the network and network security. I believe even with those cons and that they're slow rollers, I still believe that Filecoin eventually will have a top 5 crypto. They have a top 5 crypto potential if they can get just a sliver of that mainstream. I think over the next 5 years, you will see Filecoin around the $500 mark. And if we're talking in terms of decades, over the next 10, 15, 20 years, much higher than that, as long as they can deliver. And I feel like they are going to be in that 10% that's going to be sticking around for a while. This is a long-term hold for me. I'm invested in Filecoin. I think it's a great project, even though people complain about the slowness of it, and some people like Sia more, and I'm going to get into them in just a second. But I think if you're looking at something to get into in that top 30, Filecoin is a definite place to park some money. Siacoin has some of those cons as well. They're not the sexiest stock. Mainstream adoption is going to be tough. They didn't get $200 million in funding, and they have a massive supply, much higher than Filecoin. But they are moving at a faster rate than Filecoin in many ways. Not only are they offering data storage, but they also have Skynet. And if you're like me, the first thing you said is, wait, isn't that from Terminator? And yes, Skynet is from Terminator, but this Skynet is not that same Skynet. And this Skynet was launched in February 2020 and is fully supported on the Sia network. Skynet brings decentralization to the internet. Instead of it being controlled by corporations, the internet would basically be controlled by its users, us. They've even said that they are changing the future of the internet. Recently on the Siacoin subreddit, a question was asked about what Sia had been up to. The president and core developer, Big Duke Luke, piped in and answered the question. In terms of development, our primary focus right now is the upcoming UT Rexo hard fork. But what does that even mean? Well, when you click on the UT Rexo link, you find this. There's a lot of buzz in the Sia community about the upcoming UT Rexo hard fork, a radical overhaul of the consensus code which promises to drastically improve performance, cut initial sync time to almost nothing, and allow full nodes to run on smartphones, embedded devices, or even in the browser. If you didn't catch my drift, I'm also in on Siacoin. I like both of these guys, Filecoin and Siacoin. And I think at these prices for Sia, right now for Siacoin, it's an absolute steal because this company, with everything they have going on, you could see that price, that 1 cent price right now goes so much higher. There's a lot of people out there that believe over the next 2 years, you're going to see this thing at $1 or more. So yeah, obviously my recommendation is to get into both. I'm bullish on not only the two cryptos, but I'm just bullish on the problems that they're trying to solve. I think there is a lot of value there. But personally, which one I'm digging more? Well, right now I'm leaning more towards Sia than I am Filecoin. And that's not nothing against Filecoin. If they come out with some big news next week, I may be leaning over there. And while you're at it, if you're still here with me, let me know which one you like more in the comment section below, or should I be looking somewhere completely different? And if I should be, where should I be looking? As always, take care. I hope you get rich, and we will see you soon.